Mount Everest ain't got shit on me.
In the last workout, we talked about DEKA Spain and we did an upper body pull workout. So this time we're doing a more lower body focused leg workout with cardio based conditioning focus. So for me, heavier athlete, my weakness is just drive, conditioning and my heart rate. So my main aim is to keep that down. If you're not a heavier athlete and your weakness might be strength, maybe your workout routine will be focused towards building strength because you've already got that, quick twitch muscles and you don't need to work on your heart rate and conditioning as much as someone who's heavier, who's got the strength, has to consider things. So when you think about DEKA events, you have the box step overs, even the prowler pushes. I say prowler, even the torque tank pushes, even the ski erg, even the ball to shoulder or ball over shoulder, that is all a hinge type movement. So what better way than to use the glute drive? I focus on about, again, 15 to 10 reps as it goes down, 3 to 4 sets to really focus on pulling in, getting my core engaged as well, and then moving on to the next builder. Typically, if you want to improve leg drive, I tend to suggest squats or deadlifts if you have them. If you have an issue with squats or deadlifts, leg press is a good alternative. The focus isn't going as heavy as possible. So for me with the leg press, I focus on just getting full range of motion and working on that push away. When you think about if you're using a sled, if you're using a torque tank, it's all about leg drive. So how can you utilize that into a workout that brings out the benefits, that fatigues you, to then go into a conditioning piece? You've got to remember that it isn't a strength race, it's a conditioning race. So if you can work on being fatigued when you go into a conditioning piece, that's amazing. That's where you develop. So into the conditioning piece, and I'll just let it play out because it was devastating.
Your nightmares. Little did you know that I like fear. When you turn, I'll be right there. You should be afraid, you should be scared. Out of the darkness, out of the fear, here comes the monster waiting in there. Heart rate is rising, some call it scared. You'll feel the chill start raising your hairs. It's too late, you're here now. I hope that you're prepared, cause there's no getting out. You can feel the energy, dark like a cloud, electrified by panic, terror and doubt. Don't cross me or you'll learn quick the hard way that I'm not one to mess with. I got a mind and that mind's full of mean tricks. I'll plant a seed in your head where the fear will stick. And I'll haunt your nightmares. Little did you know that I like fear. When you turn, I'll be right there. You should be afraid, you should be scared. We're all alone, you're on your own. It's you and me, who's going home? Look up, cause I'm right here. Welcome to a real life nightmare.
So I was truly destroyed at the end of that workout. So what did we do? We did reverse lunges into rower and then into kettlebell movements, kettlebell clean and press, and then kettlebell swings. Why? Well, the first exercise in DEKA is reverse lunges, weighted. And then the second exercise in DEKA is the rower. And they are the two openers that get you pretty much fatigued throughout the whole session. So what I'm trying to work on and what I'm trying to think of is, okay, how am I going to pace each bit when I'm doing it? I did about 4 or 5 rounds, can't remember now, but I did about 4 or 5 rounds. And in each round, I tried to attack it differently. So the different angles you saw with the different rounds that I did. For me, when I go into it as if I'm racing. I position the sandbag in a way that I'm like, right, when I go into it, bang, let me go down. Let me see how I'm going to pace it. You can't jump split when you're doing the lunges. So you've got to really work on technique. And then, as you can see, I dropped it and went straight into the rower. Again, you've got to think when you're training in that movement, and when your form breaks down, you revert back to what you do in training. So I really want to work on not being like, okay, I've done this segment, put this down, let me go to the rower. It's quick, go into the rower. When it comes to the rower, the technique I try to do, and again, I watch different things on YouTube, and I've worked on my technique immensely. I watch CrossFit videos, I watch Hyrox videos, I watch, anyone who's an athlete rower and how they do it. You want to get in, strap up, and then try to get initial pulls to get some meters on the board. So then go into that, very much focused on driving from the legs, pulling into the chest as I'm going back. It's meant to be 3 movements: legs, pull, lean, and then release, lean, legs, and then that's the motion that you do. Because efficiency is the aim of the game, you're not going to win or lose it on the rower. That's the second exercise, but you can really hit a high heart rate if you're going, I've got 500 meters to go, and you just go out all guns blazing and you're using poor technique. So definitely I'd suggest to work on rowing technique. So then into the kettlebell work, which is the last portion of a DEKA event you're doing. I say the last portion. You have a RAM, so the RAM burpee to overhead press is the last segment. In the JD Gym, we don't have a RAM, so unfortunately we have to make do. You can either use dumbbells, and if you have hex dumbbells, you could pretty much do devil press. But if your focus is on technique, and for me, I know when it comes to it, basically how I was at the end of DEKA, I was just with the RAM going up, putting it down, and just walking it to my chest and then walking up. So I really need to work on the foundations around doing a burpee to a press. So that is the reason why you'll see me getting a kettlebell, hinging, again, the hinge is important, hinging to get the clean up because that's the motion of the RAM. And then with the kettlebell swing, again, it's working on that hip drive to utilize the RAM to get from the floor to above me. So I utilize that. You can use a sandbag as an alternative if you want to. However, with the way the sandbags are, the handles are differently placed to where the RAM is. The RAM, it's a cylinder, so you hold it at the end here. With a sandbag, you're holding the handles here, and to get it from the floor up, it's a different movement, but it gives you that overall weight instead of having, say, a kettlebell or 2 separate hex bar dumbbells. But yeah, the workout was intense. It was good to really get a feel of how I am at the first half and how I am at the end of it. So you've got to be thinking about that if you want to take part in an event like this. So yeah, next event or next session will be a bit different. So James has got me involved in this Battle Bunker. Don't know if you've heard of it, but Battle Bunker, it is a interesting style hybrid event, and even though it's not specifically DEKA training to help towards Spain, it's something that's just a bit different to add into this training. And if I want to do more hybrid events, it'll be good to see how I go. So in the next video, I'll talk more about the Battle Bunker and how, hopefully, if I qualify, how it's going to work out. But it'll clash with a few things, but who knows? Let's see how it goes down. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Any questions, stick it in the comments box below. If you're looking at doing DEKA for the first time and you're a bit heavier, I think this is a decent video for you to watch. And if you think you found it interesting, share it with other people. And yeah, catch you in the next video.